All right, let's dive into the world of linear equations. They can sometimes look like this confusing mess of letters and numbers, but today we're going to turn all that into a simple, solvable puzzle. We're going to build you a powerful toolkit, just a few simple items so you can look at any of these equations and solve them with total confidence. So, have you ever looked at an equation like this one and just your brain kind of freezes? You're not sure where to even begin? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It looks a little intimidating for sure, but I promise there's a clear, logical path to the answer, and we're going to walk it together.
So, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to build a toolkit. And the best part? You don't need 100 different gadgets. Nope, just 3 simple tools. If you can master these 3, you'll be able to dismantle pretty much any linear equation that comes your way.
So, what is our mission here? What's the goal? It's always the same, no matter what the equation looks like. We need to find the unknown. We have to get that variable, whether it's an x, a b, or a y, all by itself on one side of the equal sign. That is the entire game.
Okay, let's grab our first tool. This is your workhorse, the one you're going to reach for all the time. You use this whenever the variable you're looking for, the letter, shows up in more than one place. Our job is to get them all together in one spot.
This right here, this is the guiding principle for Tool 1. You can think of it like sorting your laundry, right? You want all the x terms in one pile and all the plain old numbers in another pile. That's the whole strategy.
Let's see it in action. Here we've got b's on both sides. So the key move, the magic step, is to add 2b to each side. See how that cancels it out on the right? And it gathers all the b terms over on the left. Once you do that, it becomes 8b equals 2, and from there, it's a super simple path to the solution, which is 1/4.
Okay, time for tool number 2. This one is all about clearing up equations that have brackets or parentheses. You can think of brackets like little locked boxes. We've got to open them up before we can sort what's inside.
Check this out. To unlock that bracket, we use something called the distributive property. We just multiply the 3 on the outside by everything on the inside. So 3 times 2y gives us 6y, and 3 times -1 gives us -3. And boom, the brackets are gone. Now, doesn't that look familiar? We just grab tool 1 again, combine our y terms, solve it out, and we find that y equals 4. Easy!
And now for our third and final tool. This is the one that helps us deal with, well, everyone's favorite thing in math, fractions. This tool is designed to completely eliminate those denominators and make these equations way friendlier to deal with. Now, fractions in these equations usually pop up in one of 2 ways. You'll either have a single denominator, like on the left, or you might have multiple denominators scattered around, like on the right. They might look pretty different, but here's the secret. The same core idea solves them both.
So let's start with a single denominator. Our goal is to get rid of that divide by 5. How do we do that? Well, we do the opposite. We multiply both sides of the equation by 5. On the left, it just cancels out, and on the right, 4 times 5 is 20. And just like that, the fraction is gone. We're left with a super simple equation, and we can quickly see that p equals 19.
Now, what if there are multiple denominators? The trick here is to find the lowest common multiple, or LCM, of those denominators. So, for 2 and 3, what's the smallest number they both divide into? It's 6, right? So now we multiply the entire equation by 6. And this is the magic part. It cancels out both fractions at the same time, leaving us with a nice clean equation. And from there, the answer is clear. X equals 12.
All right, you've got the toolkit. 3 powerful tools. Now it's time to put them to work. Let's get our hands dirty and see how they work in action by tackling a few problems. You ready?
Okay, here's our first challenge. Take a look at it. You've got a terms on both sides of that equal sign. Which tool from our kit do you think we need to pull out first?
The answer is C, 2. And if you were thinking tool 1, you absolutely nailed it. All we have to do is gather the a terms on one side and the numbers on the other. That gives us 9a equals 18, which means a has to be 2. Nice work.
Okay, next up. This one looks a little different. What's the very first thing we need to deal with here before we can even think about sorting our terms?
And the correct answer is A, 4. You got it. The first step had to be using tool 2 to multiply out those brackets. Once you get 2x plus 2, it becomes a simple problem where you just use tool 1 again to find that x is 4. Great job.
All right, watch out for this next one. It's got a little trap. See that negative sign just hanging out in front of the bracket?
You've got to be really careful with how you handle that when you use tool 2.
The answer is B, -4. Did you spot the trick? That negative sign in front acts like a -1. So when you distribute it, it has to flip the sign of everything inside the bracket. If you caught that, seriously, you are getting the hang of this.
Okay, last one for practice. This definitely looks like a job for tool 3, right? But there's a small important step you have to take before you can use it. What do you think you should do with that +3 first?
And the final answer is C, 42. The key, the crucial first step, was moving that 3 over to the other side to isolate the fraction. Once you have m divided by 7 equals 6, then you can use tool 3 to clear the denominator and get the solution. See how the tools can team up? That's what this is all about.
So there you have it. This is it, your complete toolkit for linear equations. No matter how complicated or messy an equation might look at first, you now have a system. Tool 1, combine the unknowns. Tool 2, get rid of any brackets. Tool 3, clear out the denominators. With these 3 tools, you're ready for just about anything.
You know, the real takeaway here is about more than just solving for x. It's about learning how to take a confusing problem and break it down with a clear, logical system. You've learned how to bring order to chaos. So my final question to you is, with this new way of thinking, what other kind of puzzle will you solve next? Thanks for joining me.